Have you ever held a secret so heavy it felt like it was crushing you from the inside out? A secret you guarded for days, then weeks, then years, until the silence became a part of who you are. Today, we're delving into a story just like that, a story about a woman named Clara, in an 8-year silence that, once broken, would change everything. This isn't just a story about a secret. It's a story about the weight of unspoken words and the incredible power of a single voice. For 2,920 days, Clara lived with the truth locked away. A truth that had been buried under layers of fear, loyalty, and a complicated past. Imagine carrying that burden, year after year. Every holiday, every birthday, every quiet moment was shadowed by what remained unsaid. Her friends and family saw a version of her, but the real Clara, the one who knew the full story, was hidden away. Our story begins in a small, tight-knit town, the kind of place where everyone knows everyone, and secrets are hard to keep. But this one was different. It was born from a single, life-altering event that fractured her community and her own family. In the immediate aftermath, a narrative was formed, a story that everyone accepted as the truth. And Clara, key witness, said nothing. Why? What could possibly compel someone to remain silent for so long? Especially when the truth was burning inside her. To understand her silence, we have to understand her world. Clara wasn't just an observer. She was deeply entangled in the lives of those involved. Her silence was a shield, protecting people she loved from a truth she believed would shatter them. It was a misguided act of protection, a sacrifice she thought she had to make. She convinced herself that silence was the kinder option, that the lie was less damaging than the reality. But as the years ticked by, the silence began to poison everything it was meant to protect. It created distance in her relationships and hollowed out a part of her soul. Think about the psychological toll. Living a lie, even a lie of omission, is exhausting. Every conversation becomes a minefield. You're constantly editing yourself, watching your words, afraid that a single slip-up could bring the whole carefully constructed facade crumbling down. For Clara, this wasn't just an abstract fear, it was her daily reality. She withdrew, becoming a ghost in her own life, haunted by the words she couldn't speak. Her silence wasn't peace. It was a constant, low-level hum of anxiety. It was the loneliest kind of prison. So what changed? After 8 years, what finally gave her the strength to speak? It wasn't one single, dramatic moment. It was a slow, creeping realization. She started to see the damage her silence was causing, not just to herself, but to the very people she was trying to protect. The lie hadn't healed anything. It had just allowed the wound to fester in the dark. She saw injustice persisting, and she recognized her silence as a form of complicity. The weight of her secret had become heavier than her fear of the consequences. The moment she decided to speak was quiet, almost anticlimactic. It was a decision made in the late hours of the night, a promise she made to herself. The next day, she picked up the phone. Her hand was trembling, her heart was pounding, but her voice, when she finally spoke the first few words of truth, was steady. She was finally taking back control of her own story. That first conversation was like opening a floodgate. The truth came rushing out, messy and complicated and painful. But for the first time in 8 years, Clara felt a sense of relief. It wasn't easy. The fallout was immediate and intense, just as she had feared. Relationships were tested, trust was broken, and the comfortable, albeit false, reality everyone had been living in was completely dismantled. Some people called her a traitor, others called her a hero. Her world was turned upside down. But here's the most important part of the story: what happened after the chaos. Once the dust began to settle, something incredible started to happen. The truth, as painful as it was, began to heal. It forced honest conversations that had been avoided for years. It allowed for genuine forgiveness, not the cheap kind that papers over cracks, but the real kind that comes from confronting a painful reality together. The community, once fractured by a lie, slowly began to piece itself back together, this time on a foundation of truth. Clara's testimony didn't just change the official record of what happened 8 years ago. It changed the people. It allowed them to finally mourn properly, to understand fully, and to move forward authentically. For Clara herself, the transformation was profound. By speaking her truth, she reclaimed her own identity. She was no longer defined by the secret she kept, but by the courage it took to finally break the silence. She found her voice, and in doing so, she found herself again. This story is a powerful reminder that while silence can feel safe, it often comes at a tremendous cost. It's a testament to the fact that courage isn't the absence of fear, but the act of speaking up despite it. Clara's journey shows us that it is never too late to do the right thing, and that one voice, even after years of silence, truly has the power to change everything. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible story. If it resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that explores the depths of the human experience. We'd love to have you as part of our community. Until next time, stay curious and keep seeking the truth.